the bald is correct.
Yeah. Well, finding a picture of a bald female dwarf is not easy outside of Dark Sun.
Absolutely.
So, welcome to our Pathfinder 2 campaign, where the players have just spent a bit of time in a haunted mansion, see some uplifting music before they get thrown into some more horror.
Sounds good to me.
The sun is shining, the birds are tweeting, everything is bright.
A glorious day to go adventuring.
Or go back to bed after being up all night.
No bed, we've got Papa gone to wake us up each morning.
As it is, you find yourself back in Magnamar on the first day of the second month. And Dusar's not around, so you don't get woken up by his pocket god in the morning.
I'm just shocked by this all. I don't know what to do with myself here.
That's about it. Cordar was already up doing Carter in the backyard.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And we have our Sparky the dwarf having dreams of flying horses.
Yeah, I don't find anything unusual with it now anymore. I've given up. I don't worry about these things.
But perhaps we should introduce all the characters beforehand.
Yes, we shall. So at the table we have Jeremy.
Okay, good evening all. I'm playing Cordar, the half-human. Only very little bits of elf still at the moment, but we're trying to get it back. Warrior of Sandpoint, who's trying hard to be the hero that he believes the Pathfinder represents. Having become Pathfinder and seeing some of the inside, there's possibly the element of never meet your heroes.
Always room for improvement, but you have met a few Pathfinders you've liked.
So that's right.
And you've met quite a few you haven't.
Unfortunately, there's possibly the bad are outnumbering the good at the present time, but Cordar's there to try and tip the scales back again.
Well, like any football team, there's a couple of people you like and the others you don't really notice until you're stuck working with them.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I wasn't mentioning anything about the other party members. Not out loud, anyway.
Which then brings us to online. We have Mark.
Hello, I'm playing Sparky, the dwarf rogue from Runelords. I'm sure I'm right with that now. Yeah, I'm here to make sure Cordar doesn't die because I made a promise to his grandma that I wouldn't let him do that. And so far, it's worked good so far. Can't confirm that myself sometimes, but definitely make sure Cordar is staying alive. And yeah,
there was one point.
I feel quite relieved about some of my states of my life.
I think Cordar's only got to save his bodyguard on a few occasions so far.
Yes, definitely body. Yes, yeah.
And there was one point where you thought you'd failed.
Oh, I did. No, I was worried about heading back to Runelords, but that's okay.
And also online we have Peter.
Greetings. I'm playing Lord Willy One Kenobi. I'm wondering whether I get to add another coming back from the dead. My current list of 3.
Well, I'm sure that you will always have a chance to keep coming back from the dead.
Yeah.
There's always more things you can know, people.
Yeah. I want to get my sarcasm back.
Well, next time you're there, you might ask what you can do to do that.
Yeah.
Just go and talk to a different god and they can buy it back from them.
Yeah, I don't like gods much.
I don't recommend that. One god's enough. More than one is a problem.
I hear Lamastu is quite good at assisting with problems like that.
Oh, I have heard differently. But I was just not upset at the end, but I have heard differently.
Yeah, looking around the party, I'm not a fan at all.
What, of the party or of Lamastu?
Of Lamastu.
I think the answer was yes.
Right.
And so, last session, you finally completed a haunted house that took only 6 sessions to get through.
But we did find the the cause behind the murder spree around Sandpoint.
You did. And it was Parry's love interest.
I'm assuming before we went to Magma, we did actually at least report back to Sandpoint to tell them that, well, we think we've got the...
Well, it was Magnamar that had asked you to look into it, not Sandpoint.
Yeah, but Sandpoint are the ones who were dealing with the issues. Admittedly, hey, as far as the authorities go there, that's mostly Hell Knights, so Core Knights probably should happy not to worry about it. Gone back and told Grandma that, or Mum that the
problem has been
problem should be sorted.
Okay, so...
And of course also Shalailu, since she's on such good friends with her.
So 2 days have passed since you had your time at the Haunted Mansion. Let's see. I would say that you've had time to provide healing to each other. Otherwise, you would still have damage because you don't heal everything every morning. Because you're only...
I would have made sure I try to heal everyone up as much as I can. And if we went back to see Grandma, I would just say yes, he's all right.
Well,
I think happens during usual stuff.
Excellent. And technically, yes, whilst you don't heal everything every morning type stuff automatically, you can do consistent healing over a few hours, and
you can.
So,
yeah. Maybe in the spare time, I would approach Parry about a certain signature, if time allowed it. If Parry will hang around. But
So 2 days have passed, and you're back at Magnamar at the Pathfinder Lodge. Parry and Duza are not currently here, so you haven't had a chance to approach them for that because you've been running around a lot, and you haven't had private time with either because they've been hanging around each other a lot for some reason.
Hey, they did have a special night at the farmhouse.
They did, and not just the farmhouse.
Wow.
I'm gonna hang on. This is a personal role. No, that's okay. The under 5, I would have investigated where they were. But okay. I got the hunt hint. They're busy, but if I find there's a spare moment, I will approach for marketing situations in regards to this, and then I'll have to find myself a printer in the.
Well, they're not at the Magnamar Lodge.
I was going to say, let's just say that I'm sure Duza just wants to live life to the fullest for the next 100 days or so.
Okay, that's all good. But if you may back to see Lady Highmarsh, I know Sparky would be asking how she's going with the weapons that she handed off and things like that. And
so she turns to Sparky and goes, 6 days have passed. Are you expecting miracles?
Yes.
Well, okay. Sorry if I thought your skills are really great. They are really great, but I'm just like, and I try to go, hey, sun outside, that's good, and just try to change the subject also.
I think the classic line is, someone order KFC.
But what I'll do, I will show the 2 rings I picked up from in the Haunted houses, and can you work out what's the deal with these rings?
Before or after I deal with the other stuff you left?
No, because she said I hadn't finished it yet, so that's okay. So.
Yeah, but okay. You say you wanted to drop what she's doing on your weapons to look at the rings, or? My ideas are just purely me. So if that affects you guys, I'm sorry about it. Just put it out there.
Well, she does say she's happy to get to it once she finishes doing stuff.
Yeah, I'll hand her the 2 rings. So I'll put that there. Hand it to Lady Highmarsh. And if that's the case, I'm looking to see if I can get these noble outfit that I picked up as well. See if I can get that cleaned and resized for a dwarf.
Why don't we just head back a little bit?
I'll walk to look at the list of stuff there just to confirm what else was there. So.
Yeah, so that was the War Razor, Noble Clothes, 2 rings.
Okay, I can see it, yeah.
I've got a couple of things written down as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that they were from the last adventure or section of the adventure. So we had the papers referencing Brothers of the Seven, tarnished iron key with an opal, painting of a revenant in the style of Parry, and a small brass gong with a hammer.
Yeah, that's part of what I was trying to remember was the fact that I was sure there were some papers and things like that we want to be looking into further. So.
Okay, so you got the brass gong, picture of Harriet as a revenant, and then papers on the, who were they on again?
The Brotherhood or something, wasn't it? The Seven or something?
Referencing Brothers of Seven.
Okay, yeah. I remember there being brothers involved and Seven involved. Didn't know what order and how it fitted.
She says, look, she's happy to look into these things, though it will take her time. While she has access to magic, she looks at Sparky and says, you do realise things do take time and magic doesn't solve everything.
That's not what I've heard.
Yeah, Willie told me to take, you agree really quick at it, and I'm lying out of my ass, and because of my trailblazer, I get a -2 on any inside checks. So,
I had a friend of mine once say magic fixes everything.
Yes, and then are they still with us?
No.
Obviously, it doesn't fix everything because they're not with us anymore.
I'm sure they're still running around somewhere. I just don't know where.
Yes. Possibly the outer planes.
Certainly could be. In fact, if I know, yeah, I would highly guess that that's the case.
and I say, apologies, Lady High March, but I've got some clothes to wash and redo, so we might be here a couple of days extra just to rest up a bit. So.
As well, look, if you leave them with her, she will add it to the pile of things she's going through.
I can go get it done myself. I don't have to bother.
Well, if you're going to take the items to be identified by any other sage of the city, they will require at least a week or two of investigation.
I think he was talking about his laundry.
You want me to do your laundry? She just looks at you with.
She can do your laundry as well.
She looks at you with quite a disgusted look and going, and you call yourself a Pathfinder? You just asked your boss to clean your dirty linen. She
I
says,
didn't say that. I said I was going to do it myself. I'm Sparky's sticking up for herself here. I said, look, I asked you, yes, the rings, understand. I was going to do the clothes myself. Then you offered to do the clothes. I think there was a misunderstanding between game and player, and therefore it was like, and go, look, I'll pick up my clothes. I'll see you later, and walk out the front door and go get more. I can put up with so much now. Sparky's got to live it now. So.
So after Sparky walks out, Lady Homemarch goes, so where did she stand on me looking into the rings?
I believe the intent was when you have the opportunity, man.
Yeah.
It would be much appreciated with whatever you could be able to find out.
You hear in the distance a dwarf swearing about stuff and nothing to do with Lady Homemarch, but just swearing anyway.
And then you hear a guardsman pulling up Sparky in the distance going, language, I'm going to write you up for that.
Oh, no, sorry, sir.
Where's your papers?
What?
The guardsman's asking for Sparky's papers.
Has marked it down. Papers?
Actually, no, I didn't wander around Magnemar.
Yes, because you're walking around the rich district swearing like a trooper.
Oh.
Hopefully in Dwarvish, though.
And my memory is Pathfinder accepted in the era or not?
They have a lodge, but they don't advertise it.
So you still shouldn't say you're a Pathfinder. And
saying you're a Pathfinder will not get you any special treatment. It may get you thrown in jail.
Yeah.
What papers do I have?
If you're not somebody who lives here, then when I first came, I had to get some sort of written document identifying myself. I carry it around with me.
Basically, your passport. So
yeah, if I've got something like that, I'll use it saying I'm a dwarf from Runelords. Just visiting some friends, and I'll try not to mention any Pathfinder stuff if I don't have to.
Okay, so he grabs you by the arm and says, well, we're going to go speak to the watch commander and see what he says about dwarves from Riddleport swearing here because you're in the wrong neighborhood.
Why do I give us this Sparky thinking to Sparky itself, going, why do you do this, Sparky? And I go off, instead of washing, I ended up in jail. So there you go. That's fine, I'm happy with this.
Hey, they might do your laundry for you.
Maybe you'll be doing the jail's laundry.
Well, you get to wash it, and then I'm still it's half okay. Half cup of milk on situation. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you won't be washing the clothes that you've got dirty right now. You'll have to wash your new jumpsuit.
I'm not sure if there's new noble clothes, the ones that might have had some damage on it from people stabbing somebody. I don't know yet. So.
Okay, so yes. Apparently Sparky's going to be tied up for the rest of the night.
Well, certainly, okay. When Cordar provides report to Lady Hindmarsh on their activities for the last week or so,
Yep, same.
He'll be describing or discussing the fact of, yep, okay, that because the fact report also includes the stuff that happened on Thistletop. Haven't been back to Magma since then, have we? No. So but we'll explain the fact that yes, it seems that the murders happening in and around Sandpoint, well, not so much in Sandpoint, but around Sandpoint, were the work of one of the local, well,
nobles,
but somewhat local.
Yeah.
Because seemingly the family or he also had significant connections in Magnamar. And they apparently had gone a bit mad. Possibly related to the fact that he or one of his close relatives was trying to become a lich. But yes, he has now been put down and should no longer be bothering the township. We also had the opportunity to investigate further up around the Thistletop area and found some interesting documentation in there, particularly related to the shards that we found a couple of in that sense, and the history of the Runelords side of the house, and they're probably the really important.
Well, did you mention the failed, where we found that disgusting blob attached to the wall that was a failed...
well, that was part of the failed lich. Yeah, that's part of the failed lich business. So, yeah. Certainly yes. The intent will be that Cordar will spend the afternoon probably writing up the full report. He's just providing the quick brief on highlights and bits and pieces. So that then if Lady Hindmarsh has specific questions, then they can be answered immediately, but also further details can be provided in the report when he knows exactly what she's specifically interested in. So.
Okay, so she does question you a little bit, and she does say that it sounded like there was some possibility of it being a partial successful lich, which would explain to the haunted house aspect.
There was certainly some malevolent entity or spirits that had been called to the house. So, and depending upon what we then find when we're reading through the stuff about the Brotherhood of Seven and things like that, bits and pieces, or any other documentation we found in the house, will be also coming into the report if it's appropriate or if there's something.
She does. She says she'll look into those details and see what she can find out, and pass it on in one of their future briefings.
So, one of the things that Cordar specifically talked about when it comes to the Thistletop stuff is the evidence that suggests that the next shard that might be, or that the the southward indicators that I keep feeling right now are potentially to the side of lust.
She sort of thinks through it a little bit and says, "Really need to keep that away from Parry. We have enough problems as it is."
Well, I believe Parry has a unfortunately too appropriate shard already connected.
And if Pinwinkle has a interest in it, we're all in trouble.
So perhaps it is something that we should try and obtain sooner rather than later?
Well, she's in the middle of making sure that if you do head that way, you'll have better information on the region.
Mm-hmm.
But till then, she does have reports of strange occurrences happening in Rulebook right now.
Okay.
And she was going to send you on to there to see if you can make sense of what's happening in that city, because the blot appears to have disappeared.
Uh-huh. So,
But more runes on the gate have lit up.
Mm-hmm. Assuming that Willie is attending, sitting in on this conversation with Lady Highmarsh,
Yep.
Cordar will certainly allow Willie to take a lot of the lead on any sort of immediate response. Cause it's not like Cordar's had the full background and history on the issues of the blot and the archway symbols. But obviously, yes, he spent a little bit of time up in Middleport, but that was mostly spent in the small town of something End.
There was Roderick's Cove.
Roderick's Cove, that's something of, yes. So, and that, yes, his actual time in Middleport was fairly short. With the portal in. Okay, we're heading south to Roderick's Cove.
Okay, so
Why is there a black thing in the sky? Oh, we'll do that later. So yeah, so I don't know if Willie's got any particular comments or about the idea of the blot disappearing, or
no, we had very little luck in actually investigating the blot. The only thing that I remember was someone was saying there was a kraken in the bay.
Kraken in the Bay is in the bay you're at now. She says.
Oh,
That's
okay.
where they found the Kraken.
I'm getting that mixed up, aren't I? Oops.
That's okay. You still wouldn't want to go swimming in the waters of Riddleport, because who knows what horrors lie beneath the depths of that godforsaken port.
Yes.
And it's definitely godforsaken because most gods won't go there.
yes. And Cordar specifically does not want to talk about the Kraken in the bay. Too many memories with other characters. Certainly then we can be ready to depart at your pleasure, ma'am. Preferably tomorrow morning, at least.
She does say she has managed to get the gift for Willie sorted out from arranged by Ruby.
Sorry, what was that?
She hands across a package tied up in black cloth with red ribbon.
This is from my wife.
Well, arranged for by your wife, she says.
Oh. Okay. I put it on the table and carefully unwrap the ribbon and pull off the cloth carefully so as not to rip it, and see what's what.
Okay, inside you find your enchanted hand wraps. Your hand wraps now look blood red.
Okay. I look at our glorious leader and say, I thought you had these.
I did, but your wife had prioritized them as most important to be sorted out.
Oh. That's very sweet of her.
Whereas Kordak more thinking, what sort of influence and leverage has she got over Lady Hindmarch and the Pathfinder Society?
Well, you had found out previously that they're related.
Mm-hmm.
Both from Cheliax.
All right, I'll pick them up and have a look at them.
Well, there you can see the runes light up as you pick them up.
And they're just red for no particular reason.
Oh, that's your wife's favourite colour. Blood red.
Or, well, I say, maybe they need to go with Sparky's laundry.
I see.
Remember, cold wash moves blood better.
All right, I'll slip them on and see how they feel, and
They feel quite nice on you.
okay.
Though you're sure there'll be some catch along the way. There always is with your wife.
I know, right? This time I'm hoping that she's just doing it out of the, and I'm air quoting here, goodness of her heart. Her love of her, the father of her multiple children at some point. God damn it.
And of course,
And Willie does hear a little growl in the background as he says that. In his mind.
Sorry, kiddies.
okay. And of course they say, because she's so cautious and aware that he wants to protect her dear husband all this time, you suddenly realise that you can't actually take the wraps off.
I sort of look at you and go, hang on. I try to take the wraps off.
They don't seem to pull off. And Lady Hindmarch gives Cordar a wink at that stage, and sort of smiles slightly to herself.
Ask Lady Hindmarch if she wants her staff back.
She says, "No, you're welcome to keep using it." She says that it's been paid for. But if you don't want it anymore, you're welcome to donate it back into the pile of items that she can distribute.
No, it's still got use. The bonus it gives to jumpies and moving stuff is quite useful.
She knows that's why she had arranged it originally. She thought it would suit your tiger style, definitely not dragon style, she says. Okay, and she says, I'm sorry we didn't have anything to enchant for you, she says to Corda.
There's nothing I need, I have the equipment I need. Okay.
But we are expecting the dagger back for Sparky sometime in the next few days.
Well,
did you guys find a use for that murder rune that I came back with very, very long ago?
We're still looking at good places to use it, but we do have some enchanted runes on your gloves already.
Oh, no. I gave it to you guys to... I gave it to the Pathfinders to use, and I just was interested to know if you'd made use of it.
We're looking for the best use of it, not just applying it to anyone, because we don't really want to give the Pathfinders a bad name for utilising such power in the wrong way.
Yeah, fair enough.
We do have that bad reputation already. There's no need to make it worse.
Yeah.
Which is why some of our artifacts are well hidden. She also has a pair of axes, which has taken up a majority of the time while you've been away, waiting for Duza.
Duza will be most pleased to receive them when they have the opportunity. I'm sure they'll be around soon.
So the GM had actually rolled to see which order they were done in.
Yes. I expect. Okay. Not entirely certain whether why they didn't get through from Sandpoint to here, but I'm sure they'll be here soon.
Well, they have been here and gone.
Okay, so they've arrived in Magnemar, but then didn't hang around the house.
Busy off doing other stuff.
Okay.
Left you to report in.
Yep.
Which is not surprising.
No, that's fine. So,
as it's been 10 days since you guys have been here.
Mm-hmm.
So what do the raps do?
Well, they will hit harder.
Yes.
Give you a bonus to hit. And allow you to hit ghostly creatures, because you had talked about needing to be able to hit things that you can barely see.
And the side effects of bloodlust and other rage effects, totally unrelated, totally not to be over.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
So, are you going to apply the game effects yourself, Martin, or?
I will. I've already got some notes down for everyone's stuff.
Cool.
So it looks like Victor has been roped into work again today instead of coming in person. Quite a lot of notes for Victor.
But yes, well, in that case then, so Cordar's happy to, assuming that Lady Hindmarch is happy that we are not departing today for Riddleport, yes, he will go and write up a report, prepare all those bits and pieces, read through the documentation we got from the haunted house, and also try and find any reports from the previous party members or things like that about Riddleport and this plot that's presumably a problem and is now disappeared.
Well, the reports that you're looking at after you've done yours state that every time a rune lit up on the gate, it's assumed that a demonic force was released in the world, because it coincided at the same time with when a party released a demonic force. One of them being at the Godsmouth ossuary, when the seal was broken.
Yep.
And a few other places, such as Thistletop, when the demon was released.
Mm-hmm.
And then other places where a demon was released.
Okay, yeah. So these are reports, like internal Pathfinder reports, not the common knowledge or thought process around Riddleport.
Yeah, most of the people at Riddleport haven't got a clue what it's for.
That's right, yeah, because obviously they have no idea what was happening in the Godmouth ossuary that happened to us at the time, or Thistletop, things like that.
So the Pathfinders haven't passed on that information to the researchers?
Probably don't need to pass anything, say, hey, you're aware that while we've been fumbling around over here, happened to be about the same time, apparently.
And there's been quite a few coincidences of party doing stuff and rune lighting up.
I'm sure it's all pure coincidence and totally unrelated.
And apparently the last rune lit up when you cleansed the house.
Okay.
And that's when the blood disappeared. So it's 2 days ago.
Right. Which is probably, obviously, why Lady Hindmarch would like it to be investigated further, because apparently there's potentially a connection with this arch and places all over Varisia. So, but yes, again, if she's happy that it's not necessarily a hey, we should have been investigating 2 days ago.
Well, the world hasn't ended in the last 2
That's
days.
right.
She doesn't think it'll end overnight, and if it does, there's not much that I don't think there's much you could do if you went there tonight.
And as far as she's aware, there's no more Pathfinders about to blunder into and activate more runes, if there are any runes left on the ark. So, but that's all good.
So she has a sneaking suspicion that Pimwinkle is off trying to release more demons.
And different me, he's probably doing it deliberately.
And Mark, I cheer. And it's Sparky, I don't you? Okay.
Okay, so moving over to Sparky. Sparky's spent the night in the watch house dungeon as a scallywag from Riddleport, as your passport details show you. And you find that you're having to clean the watch house's uniforms and other people's clothes overnight.
Yeah, okay. I can cop that fair and square.
And that's your penance for swearing like a sailor in the middle of the rich district.
And of course, obviously, you didn't have access to any of your gear there. That all got confiscated. So you didn't clean your clothes. So you're going to arrive the next morning, still in the same clothes, looking probably even more dirty than you did when you left.
Can I roll a sleight of hand check and maybe have my clothes in the mix by accident?
Sure.
Okay. It's worth a shot. Worst case, I'll just have to clean for another day. Sleight of hand to be under thievery, I assume. So. Okay. 29, though.
29. Okay, just gonna look up something.
So I'm looking this one. There's something like I'm walking past where my stuff might be, and if I can slip in some of my clothes in the mix while I'm washing stuff.
Okay. Let me just fix one of my cameras because, hey,
You missed the role that Martin did for in response to your sleight of hand.
Should I be worried there, Jeremy?
Well, I'm sure there's nothing to be worried about as I look up the actual details of the skill, which
That's about an audio device. On the other screen.
because basically I have to switch to it and then say don't switch, and then it suddenly loads itself off.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll put it in the other direction.
But he was rolling on your behalf, don't you realise?
Oh, that's right. So, on that one, no.
Well, no, I don't know that for sure. Hopefully he was rolling their perception check against your sleight of hand.
So you're trying to conceal your linen in the pile?
Yes.
Okay, so, yep, that was a secret roll.
Yeah, okay.
Meaning the player doesn't roll. You successfully hide your stuff in the linen. Come
Well,
morning, you can't find it, and it's been taken somewhere else.
But it's clean. Probably. Or it was.
Well, that being the linen, that's my noble clothes, so therefore I've lost noble clothes. That's fine. Could be worse things that happened today.
Could be worse things at all, completely, yes. I do love the fact that the secret rolls are done by the GM with help on camera, but I sometimes put them on camera because it's funny.
No, that's okay.
So yes, you return the next day in the dirty clothes you were wearing while washing because you don't have any other clothes left.
That's right, I got my little round right, yeah, fair enough. Okay, I'll return and ask Lady Hamish if there's any spare maybe linen available I could just borrow.
Okay, she gives you a sheet set.
Okay, thank you.
She's not sure why you want to remake your bed, but that's up to you.
Well, yeah. I might have been in jail overnight, yeah.
Oh, I actually hadn't noticed. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I had to wash every single person's clothes in the jail, and I might have lost my clothes in between that. My leather arm's okay, just not my clothes,
So how could you lose your clothes while you're washing the clothes?
Let's just say I thought I washed it, but I didn't know where it went afterwards, so...
So you successfully washed your clothes, but you forgot where you put them.
I'm not a laundry person, so I just thought I'd put it out there. So.
She realises that with the miscommunication she had earlier.
Oh, yeah, no, that's very cool. Yeah, cool. Did I miss anything?
Well, apparently your clothes, she says.
I
Giving you a wink.
I have a laugh with a little bit of sarcasm in it. Okay. Okay. That's a good one, Lady Hamish. Very good one. Yeah. Anything else I might have missed outside my clothing? Yeah. Bit of a giggle.
She says, yes, but the list is long.
Cordar probably comes in from the back, a bit sweaty after doing his carter in the morning and things like that, and sees Sparky there. Think, oh, so you ready to go home?
Huh? I give you the stun bone look.
We're heading back to Middleport this morning. You all packed?
Are we? I didn't know that.
Well, you would have if you hadn't have stormed out of the house.
I was practicing laundry. I look at Lady Highmarsh and just kind of like I look back, don't tell him. And, yeah, no, sorry I missed that, but okay, so we're heading back, okay. Oh, it's okay. Well, I need to go see family members, so it's all good. I'm due to give an update, so.
She does laugh, and then she goes off and heads off for breakfast.
So, yep. Cordar will go.
So Cordar, why are we going to report again?
So, well, apparently the blot that was concerning the township for the last several months, couple of years. It's been there for what?
It's been about. It was there for 2 whole years.
Yeah. So for his research would have found out that kind of background information. But yeah, so yes, apparently the blot has finally disappeared, but the archway has continued to activate. So we're being tasked to go investigate further. It'll be good to have a local guide.
Yes, from Mark to DM here.
Mm-hmm.
How well liked am I in Riddleport?
Before or after you lost your hair?
Let's go after.
Well, people don't recognise you as well because they recognise you with hair.
Yeah, good point.
So you can't rely on your positive influences, but you might be able to provoke your negative influences.
I was reasonably well liked in the Dwarven community there.
You believe so?
Can I roll insight check on damn that?
Well, ignore an insight check on your own self-awareness.
But as I said, we haven't had this discussion because I haven't done this before, so it's like, that's why I thought I'd just check. But okay, that's so cool. I'll get to meet my mum, dad, and brothers.
So without Perry with you, you're going to have the long boat ride there.
Oh, so Sparky doesn't have the Sparky's got one with the.
Sparky's never set up anything because Sparky hasn't been in a report yet. So.
I believe Sparky set up Sparky's portal somewhere else.
Oh, okay, right. So
I can't remember where I did, but it's been a long time. So anyway,
something Sparky should have kept note of.
Yeah, Sparky would have, but Sparky's doing really stupid ideas. So okay.
Let's face it. If Sparky can't keep track of her own clothes.
Sparky can't even do it in the first tense anymore. Let's go to third and fourth.
Sparky's starting to sound like Drizzle from the other game.
Sparky thinks Drizzle's cool, yeah.
But of course, Dragon's got an excuse for being confused about where he's left his clothes.
Yeah, no, I'll have to go back and watch episodes.
To be fair, Dragon's normally left his clothes with Drazzle.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, no, I didn't. I don't think I did it there. I don't know. I think it's only really. Oh.
Well, I was going to say, but so if Parry's the one with access to Riddleport,
and if Perry was going to make it, Perry would be here by now.
Yes, but I'm just thinking of the fact from a character's perspective then, considering how long it would take to get to Riddleport by boat, it would make sense to at least do some further investigations around Magnemar to find out what happened to Parry. Spend a couple of days if needed to try and catch up with him.
You did hear that Parry was going to go deal with something away from the society for a little while.
Oh, okay. So Parry did say he was. It's not like Parry just immediately disappeared without any warning or notice.
He gave you all notice that he's going to be busy until he makes it back.
Right. Okay. But the implication being that he might be a while coming back.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, in which case then, yes, we will prepare for a boat ride.
Okay, so
Unfortunately,
We're trying to get a sailor's hat or something like
I
that.
don't think that no matter how good Cordar's role on society might be, he's not likely to happen to run across his mum about to travel to Middleport since he gets left her in Sandpoint. She's probably not on the way there like she was to get to Turtleback Ferry.
and she's less likely to actually want to go to Riddleport in the first place.
Yeah, unless she goes there as part of... Because wasn't she also just getting herself ready to go on a trip overland anyway?
She was looking into it.
So yeah, so potentially she'd stop in at Middleport on the way up there, but...
Yeah, just going to look at the new PDFs to see if they have vehicles.
If we go on a boat, I'll use my hat of disguise to make it into a sailor's hat. When I get on the boat, okay? And every time when I have to redo it, I'll redo it.
What sort of sailor's hat? And how well does Sparky know what a sailor's hat looks like?
Intelligence check, I should.
I'm just guessing because I can well imagine Sparky giving yourself a lovely tricorn hat or something like that the captain's wearing.
Okay, if it's a knowledge check, it is a GM secret check.
Okay, knowledge +9. So
And what sort of knowledge are you using?
I use my Pathfinder knowledge.
You use your Pathfinder knowledge +9. Okay, so you believe you've got your sailor's hat correct.
Would I get any advantage being near Riddleport and these others, or would that not work with me?
Did your character spend a lot of time on the ocean? Does your background have ocean as part of it?
No. Oh, no, because, yeah. I like cartography, and that's about it. Didn't really talk about ocean stuff.
So vehicles are all part of the GM's guide, not the player's guide, no.
Mm-hmm.
I've sort of asked you. Don't ask you, Jack.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Now,
is Lady Hindmarch able to arrange passage to Middleport, or
So 32 miles per day. I'm just trying to figure out how far it is to get to where you're going. She can easily arrange you.
I mean, obviously yes, because we can potentially go through the process, but I suspect that she has better connections that will get there sooner when we discover that Parry, who would normally have the contact to get to Middleport, is unavailable, assuming she hasn't got someone else available to open a portal.
She can open a portal, but you can't open a portal there.
Yeah, they're coming. It's specifically to Middleport. So.
And the one to Roderick's Cove is with someone else.
Yep.
Okay, just got to open up the correct site and look up the map because it has all the scales on it. One of the things I haven't transferred across properly.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe we can go back to Sandpoint and jump in the car.
Okay. So it's about 200 miles there. And you can do 32 miles in a day, roughly.
So about a week.
Which is roughly 5 days, which is not too bad.
Well, 5 days would be 160. But, so.
Sorry, 200. I just typed 300.
Yeah, that's like about 210 for the 30 odd, so that's like a week. So.
I did, yeah, so it's Yes,
6 days.
6.5, 6
Yeah.
and a bit days.
That's right. Yeah.
For some reason,
Around a week. Around a week. So,
Yeah,
because obviously it depends on also a bit of weather type stuff, so we see what's happening, and I believe that pirates can be a bit of a problem up around Riddle's Court too. So
well, the place is run by pirates.
exactly.
So you'll definitely find pirates along the way.
Whether they interfere with our travel remains to be seen.
My hat might be a distraction because I might be as an unofficial captain, called the hat. But yeah.
So as you board the ship, you see that Sparky's wearing a jaunty pirate cap, skull and crossbones and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Has all the frills of one of the flamboyant pirates.
Don't go too far. It's only minor illusions, so don't go too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's certainly not like Cordar knows to see well enough to know what it looks like or not look like. So
I might be in a second jar within 2 days. Yeah.
Well, hey, it is the official hat you've seen worn by the captains where you grew up.
Yeah, I'm happy with this. I have no problems with this, Martin. This is
Not a single captain in that area is a legal trader.
I'm good with that. So,
best they're privateers. When they've got a letter of marque from some other disreputable ruler.
so I get on a board pirate captain sort of thing, and I go, well, hello, sailors, how you going?
There is the look of annoyance on most of their faces, and
That's cool.
and there is the comment of tourist.
Well, Cordar will.
I knew how to top this, but I won't leave it till the night time.
And the captain wearing just a cloth tied around his head like most of the sailors here, except his one arm is red instead of the others being white. Welcomes you aboard and says, so I see you've got someone who wants a genuine sea experience. He says, referring to your piratical dwarf.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, I say out loud.
We'll be happy to assist as we can on the voyage, but quite happily a bit. I'm not certain that will be a great deal of use on the ship itself.
That's okay. Well, if someone wants to have the real experience of sailing, as your friend seems to indicate, we're more than happy to oblige. And he does turn to Sparky and says, so does Sparky want to experience life as a officer of the sea?
Officer of the sea.
Well,
Nice.
the officer of the sea that she's representing herself as.
Nice.
Do I make a check? Okay, there's a personal roll up before it's no.
Would you like to make a check?
What would the check be? Well, I'm trying to think about the perception, wouldn't it? I got plus 15 perception, and I have a plus 2 for insight rolls. My background. Oh, yeah, people trying to tell the truth.
Well, I'm sure he's telling the truth.
Yeah. Oh, did you want to roll it, or did you want to roll it?
I was just looking to see how they actually use that one.
Yeah, so it was only plus 1, so only plus 2 for perception checks and sense motive. Yeah. And somebody's trying to lie to me, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if that fell under a different skill now, since motive.
So
Good point.
the only other one might be would be society, I would have thought. But
Well, I was gonna.
I'll be back shortly.
All good. There is society. I keep jumping over it. Recall knowledge, subsist, create forgery. Doesn't seem to have.
then so perception would have been the other option for insight. So.
I know the sentence a lie, but I'm not sure. So I'm looking at my book now.
It's been a while since we've done that. I just wanted to try to at least get it right.
Yep. Yeah, it's okay. Let's go call it.
Just recall knowledge is basically a secret roll.
Yeah.
Identify magic is a secret roll. Earn income is downtime. Decipher writing. Let's see if sense motive actually is in the back. It's always fun when you go, but we had this. What happened to this? Sense motive. Basic action 471. Oh, I had the thing in there. It is a perception check, but it is a secret check. Okay. So, what is Sparky's sense motive? Using perception plus bonus.
Plus 16 at the moment.
So it's plus 16? Okay, you believe everything they say.
Oh, I'm cool with that. Oh, yeah, yes, please. Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Okay, so they officially grant you the honorary title of ensign and give you the bucket and mop.
Oh, that's cool. So I'm excited because I've always wanted to do this on ships, but never had a chance to. My father and mother said, don't do it, because she didn't trust the people out in the ships.
And the captain does give you a couple of instructions. If anyone says call to arms, you have to go below deck. If there's a storm, you have to go below deck. And just about everything the captain mentions ends with you have to go below deck.
Gotcha, Captain.
And to Cordar, and really he's basically expecting us to already be below deck.
So he does have some nice cabins below deck with tables, windows, so you can actually see what's happening. Mm-hmm. You've got a view out to either side of the ship and to the front. It's a forecastle room. And your bunks are also hanging in the same room.
Okay.
Now, while I'm mopping the deck, I would have been into some taverns at Redport when I was young, with my dad and mum. So I'm going to like to do a performance check or try to sing a sea shanty, whether it's pirate related or sail related, depends on the role.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
I am perfectly fine with that. Let's see how bawdy you can make it. So that would be a concentration check.
Oh, okay.
Which you can do using performance.
Okay. That's a 22.
That's a 22. Okay, so you start singing some of the Riddleport songs. Partway through, you realise it's mostly about sacking ships of Chilaxian or Taldar or Varisian, and as you're going through it, you realise the port you just came from is a Taldor Chilaxian Varisian colony, where just about everyone on ship probably comes from one or each of those ancestries. But hey, they all seem to enjoy the song and help you have more work to clean up on deck.
If I realise that I'm singing the wrong song, can I start just whistling just to cover it?
Well, you don't think you're singing the wrong song. You think that they haven't gotten angry with you because no one stabbed you or hit you with something.
Okay. This is great. I'm having a wonderful time here.
How to make friends and influence people, buddy.
Yeah, that's Sparky Rulebook 101.
And you do find that some of them even teach you some knots to tie so you don't get washed overboard on the occasional wave.
Oh, see, I've learned sea knots, guys. I'm learning some stuff here. And I'm getting very good at mopping, by the way. So.
And the mopping task seems to be something that happens constantly to try to stop the seawater making too much damage to their gear and decking.
Yeah, I'm so excited. As soon as I hear the captain says, go below, I go below.
So you have 7 days of travel.
Alright, 7 days of mopping. Fine with that.
You always become efficient with mop.
if I go for sleep, I change my hat back to normal. When I go back out, I put the, back to the pirate situation. So.
Well, hey, for their purposes, your hat was so outrageous they couldn't take it seriously. Your song was so outrageous they couldn't take it seriously. It fit perfectly with the tourist on a trip out to...
Yeah, you were definitely a tourist. So, well, and yeah, certainly Cordar will not be intending to spend all his time below. He'll be up on deck at least, looking around, trying to stay out of the way of people and do things. But the idea of, hey, yep, instantly upstairs, assuming he doesn't get seasick. So.
Okay, does Wooly ever make it upstairs?
Yeah, I mean, if we've got the 7 days, Willie probably feels like a fifth wheel. He's sort of walking around going, there's nothing to do. So I'd probably take a page, and sort of see what I can do to help to fill the day.
Okay, so as you're up and about doing stuff, you do notice of a night that, this is what Willie notices, he sees a new star in the sky.
Oh, that's bad.
And each night the star's getting brighter and brighter.
I'm going to give a nudge to somebody I've worked beside and hopefully at least have a working relationship with.
So, Corda?
Well, I'm thinking one of the crew. I'm thinking one of the crew, but if it's Corda, I'll go, hey, you see that, buddy?
Corda still can't determine one star from the next at this point.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think Corda is going to be allowed to sleep on deck under the moonlight.
That looks like a new star. And I'll say it quite loudly just in case there's some of the crew nearby.
Okay, so a few crewmates seem to think it's a bad omen.
Yeah, it's not a good omen. Anybody know anything about it?
Go. Gods be crazy? Have you angered a god recently, they say?
Not that I'm aware of.
Have you used their name in vain?
Again, nothing that would, I think, bring a star to the sky. That's a pretty big deal.
Have you promised to do something and not done it yet?
Yeah, but I've still got 100 days to do it.
Did you promise a god you'd do it?
No, I promised a friend.
Well,
a companion.
Somebody
who travels with me.
They sort of wink at you and saying, if that companion is a god, then it might be your fault. But if it's not a god, then it's just a coincidence.
So the stars appear in the sky often with you guys, or is this something that you've not seen before?
We see new stars every now and then. Bright stars come and go. Some grow very bright and then disappear. Others have been known to fall. The biggest starfall that they've heard of brought on the darkness that enveloped the world, and the great god Aradon went into the waters and brought it out and became a god.
Okay, well, let's hope it's not that level of star. Let's hope it's one of the appears bright and disappears kind.
Well, the one that hit the planet really did change the shape of the world.
Yeah, let's hope it's not that one. I'll make sure the rest of the group's aware of it.
And?
Hey, group 3. But the sparky knowledge in cartography, and maybe she might record at the start and Skype before. If I get asked about it, would I confirm?
Okay, what's your cartography give you?
+9. So.
Okay, you look on your charts, you've never seen that star before.
Okay.
It's new.
Okay, that's cool. I'm just trying to think of any ways.
It's right in your birth sign.
Oh, that's bad.
Now, if Willie asks me, I'll let Willie know. If Quarter asks me, I don't.
And it seems to be directly above the direction you're going. So you're sailing towards the new
following
star.
the star.
It's like you've picked the new star as your navigational point.
Okay, I'll let Willie know that. I don't inform Quarter, because Quarter actually worries, as usually does.
Cordar's also not particularly interested in this case of...
Well, the boat's really pointing directly at it, but that's the direction you're going.
That's right. But it works out, yeah.
The crew, I explained what they explained to me about how the sometimes stars appear and then they become brighter and disappear, or they stay up there for a little bit and then they disappear, and sometimes they fall to Earth. What do you think the chances are this one is going to fall to Earth now that the block's gone?
Well, based on our party's history, I think, and based on, it's right next to my birthstone, and based on my recent experience in, I think it was the afterlife, I don't think it's a good sign. So.
No. I agree with that.
So has Marky mentioned to Willie that it's actually in his birth sign?
Oh yeah, I'll let Willie know. I don't let Corner know.
No, that's right.
So,
it also happens to be Willie's first child's birth sign too.
Yeah.
But let's face it, there's 1 in 13 chance anyway, so it's got to be somewhere.
Yeah. After that happened and Willie goes back to bed, I actually think in my mind going, and I'm thinking about my lovely steed. Should it relate to you? I just say in my mind.
At which point you're finding memories of this steed hard to remember. You're sure you had some sort of steed, but you can't remember it quite.
Okay.
Whenever the steed's not there, you can't remember it.
That's a fair call.
So therefore, it's less noticeable when it's not there. Or people don't think about the fact that, hang on, didn't you have a pony yesterday?
And whenever it's there, it's always been there.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting where you're going with this. Don't worry. It's just like, yeah.
Which makes it very hard to think about it when it's not there.
I won't ask
until you feel the hot breath just over your shoulder right now.
So I'll reach out to Des and I said, and say, should I be concerned that I'm looking at the star when I'm saying that kind of thing?
Okay, give me what is your religion bonus, and we'll see if you can make a devotion roll as I roll it for you.
Religion 6.
Okay, so yes, you have contacted the Outer Planes and had a conversation about whether or not this is a bad thing or not, and the result you get is embrace your future.
Okay, that's very cool.
I'm not sure who it came from, but you were responded to.
Yeah, no, I know where you went with it. That's okay.
As I then put on camera what I rolled.
Oh, shit. I wonder if I can have 2 NPCs in one game, in one set, one game. Yeah, I'm getting close to it. I'm really doing well with this.
Jeremy saw what I rolled, so I thought I would share it.
No. I kind of guessed you might roll something low. That's all right. I'm going,
But obviously you spoke to Desna, because that's who you tried to talk to, and
look at this way.
Someone responded.
I've rolled 2 1s and a natural 20 on that dice so far, and the natural 20 wasn't for players.
And the 2 1s have both been for Sparky.
Yeah.
okay, go down the road now. It's okay.
It seems you're taking on M's talent of seeing how many ones I can roll for her on a night.
Oh, look, I think I did 7 with my Goblin D&D character for a while there. You know, falling off cliffs and all sorts of things.
Okay, so yes, you feel boisted by this assurance that this is your destiny, you must embrace it.
Embrace the future.
Okay, I feel like I must do
Embrace
that.
your future.
Nothing will go happen with this at all. Absolutely.
Okay, so 7 days will pass. I'm just going to quickly back to the bathroom. I can go around the table.
I can go back.
Oh, it's handy that I've got it up enough so I can do it.
So
I didn't want to sing a certain wolf song because I got in trouble last time when we summoned a demon. So I thought I'd go with a shit end this time. Because the hi-ho did kind of come out in my head. I said, no, I've been through this before. Last time I did it, we summoned somebody and I still talk to that person occasionally. So yeah. That's all right. I've experienced a lot of things this session. It's good or bad. And considering I've only got one weapon at the moment, a silver dagger, I'm doing pretty well. So, both my other ones with Lady High Mace. That's why I had to ask, because I thought, wouldn't mind having 2 daggers, not just one. At least I could use my hand at disguise. I haven't got to use it much at all.
Well, hang on. If you've only got one weapon, what have you done with Core Dog's crossbow?
That's with Lady High Mace getting updated.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's enlisted here, and Mark's got a list to it too. So I've got the repeating crossbow and my +1 strike and ghost touch. So, there you go. So, I'm still +14 to hit something, which is still okay, but just I could do a little more damage with the ghost touch. And I have a feeling for your Willie's hand wraps probably got ghost touch on them. I have a feeling or something. So.
Yeah,
they got told they've got ghost touch.
Okay, cool.
Well, it was suggested.
Well, in the sense that yes, they will be able to attack incorporeal spirits. So.
Yeah.
I've only had to use it once so far, so you know.
Well, the less we need to use that particular ability, the more happy I will be.
That's right. Oh, we said called out the front all the time. We won't have to worry about he gets hit all the time. Punch and then disengage. That's so good. Okay, sorry, mate, you go.
So yeah, during the week, obviously, yep, called you'll probably find that when he attempts to do his kata, well, first of all down in the room, he realises there's not much space down in the room. We'll quickly realise that yes, trying to do kata with the bastard sword is also not something that can be done on the ship, but he'll be probably doing effectively unarmed kata.
Mm-hmm. So. And by the time you have Riddleport in sight, the new star is visible during the day.
Uh-huh.
And it seems to have a lean off it to the right. A comet.
Yeah. So, it's becoming a bit elongated. So, well, certainly, Cordell will probably take more attention to the idea of the talk of a new star when it starts to become visible during the daylight as well. But the
much easier to find.
Mm-hmm. And so portents of comments. If he had any knowledge or history of those sorts of portents. I'm happy if it's only very generalised or even not at all. Like in the sense that it's just except.
What's his history?
He grew up on stories with the Pathfinder Society. History is history is specific law skill, but he does get +6 on occultism. So.
I'm not sure if history is anymore.
Doesn't seem to be a.
And so you see the other versions.
So.
History is not a skill anymore, so we'll go with society. See what society remembers.
+6. Actually, I mean, most of these schools are going to be +6 anyway. So.
Okay, so you've heard lots of stories.
Yep. Okay.
Nothing useful, but you've heard lots of stories.
Absolutely, that's fair. Yep, there'd be stories in the legends of the Pathfinder Society and things like that. Would be discussing it, but yeah.
The biggest legend of them all is, of course, Starfall. But
yep.
Hey, it's not like that's ever going to happen again.
Impossible, surely. So. But obviously, yes, there's probably a number of stories, a bit like the concept of Halley's Comet type stuff, is that it's a portent of events. We'll work out in about 50 years afterwards whether they were good events or bad events.
Well, there's always the stories that some people say you should go the direction that star points, because obviously it's trying to send you a message.
Yep. So, which apparently we are still following it at this stage. It appears to be directly ahead of us, does it?
Still appears to be
Or getting closer and closer, be directly overhead of us.
Well, it always seems to be over Riddleport.
Yeah.
So as you're attacking to and fro towards Riddleport, you can pretty much tell where Riddleport is by the star.
So, well, convenient. We won't get lost then.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as you pull in, you notice that all the ships have been tied to the docks. No ships are at anchor.
mm-hmm.
Very rare for even a normal cove to have every ship tied to the docks.
So, yep. Yeah, well, yeah, so normally there would be space forward if that thing, so it's all happening there. But
and some of the ships are tied to other ships.
As we're approaching, or during the voyage type stuff, it's a sense of this. Do the other sailors have any particular stories, concerns, tales about Riddleport itself?
They keep talking about Riddleport as that's a place you go to lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the story goes on about organ harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
And beware what you eat, because you may be eating part of yourself.
Or at least part of someone else.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you've lost part of yourself in the time.
Mm-hmm. No, I thought I mustn't particularly pay attention to the idea that all the ships being locked up. His idea of seagoing vessels was the fishing boats around Sandpoint. So, and they didn't normally get tied up at dock or anchored. They normally got pulled ashore.
But Sparky is alarmed, because Sparky comes in and Sparky's never seen all the piratical ships tied up, because that's the main defense of Riddleport, tied down.
Uh-oh. Have we docked yet?
There's nowhere to dock. You're actually going to have to longboat it out to the shore.
Yeah, sure.
You would probably be about 20 to 30 feet at least from shore to longboat it in, but probably more because of the way the ships are docked. They don't want to get too close, because they would then damage themselves.
Yeah. Oh, no, so.
And there's no way the captain's going to latch his ship to a pirate ship.
Oh, my knowledge of the Bay of Riddleport. Anything crazy in the Bay of Riddleport I should be scared of?
Oh, you never swim in the place.
Oh, you don't swim in the place? Okay, gotcha.
No, they have eels of unusual size.
Okay, cool. I'm just asking the question.
They call them the screaming eels.
Okay.
But I'm sure they don't really exist.
Okay.
That's true.
And they're all quiet at the moment, so it must be safe. So.
I drop it's a bit of stone or something loose around the place. I can just quickly drop into the water, see if anything comes up.
Okay, there's no sound of it hitting the water, but there's ripples all over the water.
Okay, that's cool. I'm fine with that.
And you do remember let's see. Yes, you did see a jaws come up and catch the rock before it hit the water.
I'm destined here for killer.
So your rock caused no ripples.
No ripples set ever by the rock, but there are ripples.
Okay, they go to ruin their idea, swim across the shore, and then go to quickly see my family. I'll wait for the boat now. So.
Well, I say certainly, Cordo's happy to if they're providing a boat to get across. That's certainly preferable, because it's a lot easier to take a boat with all this equipment.
Well, the
weaponry rather than trying to swim it.
The sailing ship you're in does have a rowboat to get to shore.
Yep.
Most of them carry at least one or two.
Yep.
It'd be silly not to.
And are they presumably they'll send a a couple of crewmen to actually row the boat across, so therefore they can row the boat back again immediately.
Very much so.
Yeah. So,
And as the trip was a drop you off and then go, they'll be happy to see the back of the Star on their way out.
that's right. The people rowing the boat back again probably have a longer trip because the ship's already started moving. So, well, yep. Cordar will thank the captain and any of the members of the crew that he might have spoken to and things like that over the trip, and thank the crewmen when he dropped off at the rowboat, and step out onto the docks at Riddleport and look towards Sparky.
Okay, so yes, you've got your bag of stuff.
Family home, if that's okay, man.
Oh, your bag of stuff, and you climb up the ladder up onto the wharf, because all the wharfs are for ship level.
Okay. So, okay, I'm at the wharf go. Okay, time to visit family. Follow me. And I head off towards my family home.
Yes, you look for where the fumes are thickest.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
It is the gas forges, after all.
That's fine. I just want to make sure my family's okay with it.
Yeah, I'll go with Sparky, no problems.
Okay, you casually make your way through town, realizing that it's such a quiet and amicable place for everyone except for Sparky, who wonders what the hell's going on because no one's in the streets.
I'm just passively kind of looking around as I go to see if I pick up anything unusual. So, based on my knowledge of how the place was before I left.
There's no one in the streets. You are terrified.
I'm guessing that even for outsiders, it'd be the case of the streets seem very quiet for what seems to be a relatively large or reasonable sized city.
Considering it's a dockside city and its entire economy is the piratical docks, there's not a single person visible inside.
Yep.
We're not met by like the harbour master or anything along those lines.
You are not.
That's disturbing.
I will tell both Willie and Cordar saying, keep your eyes out. This doesn't seem right.
No.
Cordar was about to say that this seems unusual township at the present time. We're all people. So.
Yeah, we used to be more busy than this, and yeah, just keep your eyes open.
It's one of those cities that never sleeps.
Yeah.
We'll ask your
so how bright is the star in the sky?
Family home.
It's actually quite bright. It's bright enough now that as the sun's starting to set, the town itself is getting a bigger glow than you'd normally get from the moon.
Right. Okay, so we are approaching just on sunset when we arrive type stuff. Yep, okay. Yes, well, do we need to find a place to stay?
How far would it be from the dock to my family home? Would it be a fair distance, or?
About an hour's walk.
Oh.
We can go there.
Let's go there, and I said if we see any danger on the way, we might have to say, do it in the morning maybe, or find somewhere safe. So, just keep your eyes out and just just make sure if you see anything, just let me know. So.
Will do.
So I pull my goggles down, the goggle of night, just for extra perception. So as we walk around, so.
You do realise that your goggles at night aren't having much of an effect with the way that the sky is lit up at night.
Yes, it's still quite bright at night anyway because of
It's okay.
Second star.
Okay, if it gets too dark, then I'll do that. Right. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna, try to take the safest route I think that I.
And as you're walking through familiar streets, you find all the doors are boarded up.
Boarded up.
Mm-hmm.
This just gets worse and worse.
Okay, I'm getting more and more worried about my family now. And I might be picking up the pace a little bit.
Yes.
As we came off the longboat and climbed up onto the dock, there were ships that were, I guess, tied to the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any obvious guards on the boats? Was there any, like, if the gangplank was down, were there any guards on the gangplanks? Were any of the ships? Actually, that's a stupid question. Someone asked that one. Anything like that?
As you're looking at it all, you're not really sure what's happening there, but there is something really odd about it all. There's not a soul in sight. You'd never expect a boat to be left unguarded at all.
No. Is it worth walking up onto one of the boats and seeing who's there and what's going on? I mean, it'd give us a very quick rundown as to whether or not there's anyone on the boats. I mean, I can't imagine anyone would just walk away and leave their boat untended.
Not a single pirate would do so.
But I'm assuming that by the time you've really done that, we've actually walked someone away from the docks, have we not? So, unless Sparky's family or the place we're going to is still effectively on the docks and we're walking along them.
They're not on the docks, they're far into the city.
Yeah.
And Willie hasn't been here before, so Willie does know the place well.
Yeah.
If Willie's going to have a quick look, I'll hold it back till he's finished his look, so. Because I want to make sure we all go together.
So I'll walk up on deck, if I can, and I'll call out, "Ahoy! Is anyone here?"
As you walk up on deck, you see that the cabin doors have all been nailed shut and have bars across them.
The hold, normally they've got some way of getting into the hold from the deck, which is obviously how you load and unload cargo more efficiently. Not that my character necessarily would know that, since I know nothing about boats.
Your character has been in Riddleport before, so...
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever been on a boat before.
A couple of times, yes.
Oh, okay. So I'll just walk over to that and see whether it's been nailed shut.
You go to where you expect it to be, and you see that they have nailed sailcloth over it.
Okay, I'll walk back down the gangplank, and I'll say to the group, "Those boats look like they've been deserted."
Yeah, that worries me, because this is usually quite busy around here, even this time of night.
I think it's more, for me, it's more about the ownership. Those ships are worth a lot of money, and people have just walked away from them. I mean, they nailed them up. But
It appears that everybody's walked away from them, so either everyone's equally unconcerned about the theft of their ships, or everyone is more concerned about other things.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about people dying yet, because I've got a final family, so come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
And as you start heading up the streets away from the dock, you pass quite a few taverns that have the open 24 hours in multiple languages boarded up.
I used to go to that one, I sound like us. Not good sign.
Maybe we should double time it to your family home.
Oh, yep, okay. Now, I mean, I only go to 20 feet per move, so I won't be holding nearest to you guys up, but yeah.
That's okay. I'll keep up with you. It's no big deal.
Yeah, for every move Willie makes, I'm sure that our little dwarf has made 3.
Yeah, that's what I had a feeling, yeah.
So yes, you finally make it to the Dwarven Stacks, and the reason this was so obvious, this is the only place putting out any form of smog. Again, not a common thing. You're so used to the smog, you didn't really notice it was missing until you got close and realised this is the only place doing it, and it's putting out so little smog that while it was the thickest thing over the city, it's almost as if they're not actually putting any out at all.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, do I? Yeah,
it'd be the only place that has even a smoke coming from the chimney type stuff. Like the only place that even has a fire. And all the other places that not have been boarded up, we haven't seen any sign of habitation or inhabitation at this stage.
Not at all.
Now, being the family home, would we have a back entrance as well as front entrance?
Well, it is a working gas mining facility. So the homes are inside in what you'd normally have as offices are used as living quarters for the dwarves. It's not exactly the most homely of places.
No, it's totally dwarf. It's wonderful. So I would go through what do I think is the main door.
And it's been a while since you've worn the gas masks that you remember are required to survive inside.
Are they put on the outside the gas mask, like in the entrance, or?
No, they make sure no one else can get in, because if it's easy to get to, then thieves can steal them.
Okay. Just put a rag over yourself, because there's a bit of gas here. I'll see if we can find masks as soon as possible. So, if I know where the closest set of masks would have been, I'll go whatever the closest kind of thing. So
normally you'd have to request one and wait for a dwarf to bring it to you, because the masks are well hidden and generally under lock and key by the supervisors, because they're considered one of the dwarves' most precious possessions while working there.
Is there any way for me to communicate to, like, is there any bell or buzzer that I have to press to just let people know I'm here? Or?
Well, there's normally a bell pulled, but that's missing.
Yeah, I don't like this at the moment. So, how far down is my parents' or our family house?
Your family have accommodations inside the forge.
Yeah.
They don't actually have dwarven residents outside of it.
So
I'm trying to think how far without a mask. Can I make it down without a mask?
If the fumes are active, you'd probably be able to make maybe 10 steps.
Even holding your breath?
That's with holding your breath. Because it will burn you as you go in there. It's a highly concentrated sulfuric atmosphere.
Do I feel it's burning really well at the moment, or is it like the cloud really dull compared to what it usually is? Or?
Well, they're obviously not working it at the moment. And if they're not working it, the hallways may be flooded. Because the operation of the system pumping out the gas above, that's where most of the sulfur normally gets sent that they're not using.
So if I feel that it's getting too sulfuric, I would say hold off, guys.
So we basically arrived at Sparky's taken us to a facility, and then stopped outside the apparent front door, but not trying to do anything yet. Just thinking.
Well, yeah. Just hold off a bit, guys. I'll walk in and see how bad the sulfur is. If I feel some burn in a couple of seconds, I'm going to walk out now. So.
Sulfur?
Well, the doors themselves are quite well sealed. How are you going to get into them?
Are they locked, or are they just sealed with bars and things like that?
Well, you're not quite sure. You've never actually seen these doors closed.
Okay, I'll do a perception check on the doors to see if I can find it, whether they're locked.
Is there anything obvious, like everywhere else was nailed shut? I'm assuming these aren't.
These are not nailed shut at all.
At least not from the outside.
No.
What's the neighbourhood like where we are?
Neighbourhood is you'd probably expect to be shanked by someone at any point.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those nice neighbourhoods of Riddleport.
It's great. It's wonderful. Keep
But
good.
the
On the toes.
other houses or taverns or things like that are all boarded up around the area as well?
Everything you see in the area is boarded up.
So who's up for me trying to smash the door down?
Let me check if I can unlock it, save you strength.
Yeah, sounds good.
But also, what was this about sulphur? What do you expect you to be burnt when you go in there? Should we go to a different location?
Okay. Usually when people work in the area, the sulphur goes out in the air, but doesn't get stuck in the thing. Since it looks like no one's working it based on my knowledge, there might be a lot of sulphur inside, and if we haven't got a mask, it could hurt us.
Well, if we break down the door and there's this gas stuff in the corridor, well...
Yeah, we know which stuff. Yeah. So I just want to see what's on the door, because if there's no smoke or no gas there, then it might be okay. So, so I'll investigate the door, see if it is locked or not, or anything like that, man.
So just trying to get into my notes on the region, because I didn't bring the book down with me.
That's okay.
It's always fun when you go, it should be easy to remember everything. Nope, can't remember all of the stuff.
No.
So, so I've got a 33 perception check to see if it's whether it's locked or what's going on, whether it's border on the other side, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you know that the gas is considered carboxene, quite a rare gas, and it is highly flammable.
Oh, that's bad.
And extremely poisonous.
That's
Basically, if you get enough of a dose in you, it cannot be healed by magic.
that makes sense.
Important safety tip.
Yeah.
And
It's just
the dwarven masks are one of the few things that seem to be able to allow them to survive in the environment.
So, the dwarves, when they're in their homes, they're wearing their masks.
Yep.
So they live absolutely 24/7 wearing these masks.
They do. And it's the safest place in Riddleport.
Yep, I can imagine. So they eat and drink with these masks on?
They have liquid nutrients.
Yes.
Liquid nutrients.
Well, I'm guessing also by the sound of it, the way Sparky was describing it, normally they let this gas go out into the atmosphere, and so therefore, presumably, when they get a bit into the lower levels, it's probably less prevalent,
Well,
like in where they're going to be living.
It's generally heavier than air.
Okay, so they've got systems that would pump it out.
So while it's running, it's being pumped out.
Yeah.
And the outside walls of it are caked in the poison.
In short, just think of it as aircon not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And you have heard of people who have licked the door only to die moments later. Or the walls of this place.
Licked.
Yep, on a death.
In the sense that it's the... yes. I wouldn't suggest touching the walls at all, but... But yeah, so talking to Sparky, so the way you're describing it, does this poisonous gas, is that always present, or is that only if the mines are being worked?
No, the gas is always present. The mines actually clear out the gas, so it's a bit more manageable to walk through.
So if
someone's working on mines, there's a lot of gas built up there, and that's an issue.
So by the sound of it, no one's going to be in there then?
Well,
Maybe.
I don't know yet. But I want to see why the store's locked. The store's never locked.
Well, possibly because, for whatever reason, the equipment or the pumps, whatever, that were pumping out the air, the gas, failed, so they've abandoned the place.
Well, I don't know yet.
No, I don't think that's the cause at all.
Well, it seems like everyone else abandoned
the
the
other way
place.
around.
Seems like everything else abandoned.
My family would never abandon this place. Like, you, the most strange look to quarter of like, shut up, listen to me first. And I'm
You mean like you said that pirates would never abandon their ship?
I don't care about pirates, I care about my family. Shush. So, I just say, look, if my parents are down there, I'd like to know they're there or not. I said, I don't want to just assume they're not there. I want to.
But if you're describing the way you're describing it, if your parents are down there, they're dead. You could have better to assume they're not there.
Well, if they got their masks on, they might be hidden away with the gas line coming. I don't know yet. My family quite, us dwarves have been here a while. We know how to deal with this gas, but more than you do. So, just have some faith and just let us check, find out what the doors locked out or not open first, and then we can work from there. And if we can't get in there because it's too gassy there, we're going to have to find some masks to let us go in there somehow.
But surely, if they were in there and the pumps failed, wouldn't the first thing you'd do at least open the doors, allow the gas to get out as much as possible?
No. That'd be the last thing I would do.
Yeah, I don't know.
The last thing would be good for the town, absolutely. But for the people, if you're going to stay there, don't you want to get rid of the gas from inside where you are?
Why?
So it's not where you are?
But the gas is protecting you. Why would you get rid of it?
Protecting you? What do you mean?
Well, who's going to go in there?
Well, nobody, obviously.
Come near this place because the gas is water. Yeah.
Yeah, Quarter. Who's going in there?
Well, nobody, obviously, if it's poisonous.
Well, there you go. How much more protected can you be? Nobody goes in. You're fine. What's the problem? I fail to see why you don't understand this.
Okay.
Okay. Step back. Let me see if I can find out the door's locked.
Cordar's stepping well back.
Get back a bit distance.
Yes.
So 33 on the dice to check if the door's locked or any jammed or any sort of way, man. So before I try and open it.
Okay, so as you're... Okay, so trying to check to see if it's locked.
Yeah. Just an investigation perception check. So.
Okay, so you look at the door, have a good check over it, and you believe it is actually locked.
Okay, next one I'd like to try to open the lock if I can. A thievery roll, and I believe you do this, is that correct?
For a disabled device, that is manipulative roll, not done by me. Or pick a luck is also manipulative, not done by me.
Okay, cool. Still double check. So plus 14 on my thievery.
Can I help? Is there like an assist to skill rolls?
There is.
Okay. What's that give me?
You can use a reaction to give him a bonus.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So you need to. So Willie needs to make a thievery check.
Yep. DC 20, isn't it?
It is.
No worries. I've got at least a 50% chance of helping you out. Yep, sure do.
What did you get?
25.
25. So Sparky gets a +2 to the roll.
20 total. I'm old, that's right. Sorry, David.
So at 20 total, you break your pick. There's a snap. Critical fail.
Oh,
Then dwarves make good luck on their doors.
Now, you can see it quite clearly in the daylight.
Okay, I've got 10 of these lock picks, so I'm going to try another attempt. Go.
Okay,
Yeah.
you pull out another pick, and what did you roll?
That's a little bit better, 24.
Okay, fiddling around in it, you managed to get the other end of the pick out, but no success.
I think you're going to need natural 20s.
Oh no, in terms of actually rolling so far, I expect a total of 20 and 24. He's probably rolling single figures on the die.
Yeah, up to 10 that time.
Yeah.
Okay, one last attempt, and I'll go before I go. I'll let the bashing boss order have a go.
Okay, so you're doing your last attempt.
Yep. That is a 34 upgraded.
Okay, you hear the click of it unlocking, and you start to hear alarms going off as the door starts to open. As you look up to see the daylight is actually a falling star, which you haven't been noticing because you've been so concentrated on the door. The GM's been rolling your perception for you, getting 2s and 3s every round. For the entire party.
As I say, Cord, I didn't notice when he stepped back and was looking around, but okay.
I did mention the full daylight previously.
Oh, absolutely. He certainly said it was a lot brighter than it did. And obviously, yeah. Cord, I was concerned about what's going to happen at the door with the idea of, hang on, they're now fiddling with the extremely poisonous flammable explosive, presumably.
And you hear the roar of the star falling above you. Almost looks like it's coming towards you.
Is inside where I've just opened, is it all gassy or not?
You can see that it is basically full of traps and other things that the dwarves use to keep out intruders.
Okay, we need to run. We need to get out of here, find somewhere else. It's not going to work. And if people start noticing the thing above us, we want to get out of here ASAP.
Yeah, let's go.
And you notice that the emergency door has slid back into the side of the wall.
God damn it! I'll send the way back. Yeah.
Well, that they did have it shut.
No, you get that. I appreciate my parents' good. You know.
And as you say that, you also hear in the back of your mind, embrace your future.
Let's go, guys, quick, extra quick.
Yep.
As you have this feeling now that you have probably just taken out your family home.
Because you opened it up to allow the stuff to get in and then ran away.
Yeah, but also the door relocked itself, didn't it? So.
No, it didn't. It slid open fully.
That's right. You've opened it up.
You disabled the lock, so the security door opened fully.
Oh, the guiltness in my head right now. But Mark wants to preserve himself first, so it's. Oh.
But he's not suggesting. But Sparky's not suggesting trying to run into the home.
No, not with gas and a firing star coming down. I think.
Yep. Cordar's, okay, looking around. I'm guessing that most of the buildings around here are not especially well constructed.
They are made out of wood and stone, and most of them look like that. If they're knocked down, they wouldn't be too hard to rebuild.
Yeah, but Cordar's more looking for the idea of, okay, something's got a stone, even lower floor type, like a first floor type stuff. Whether he's also looking for ones that might have cellars and stuff like that might provide some.
There is a mountain range to the north, and there are paths that go up there.
Okay. So we're not. It's not feeling like the star is about to hit in the next couple of minutes.
Well, you think the star's not far away from
you.
But you sort of have a suspicion now as to why the star is.
Why the city's deserted. Well, certainly yes. If it looks like we might have time to be running for the hills, great. But if it's going to be more a time of, let's just find whatever cover we possibly can. Find a solid-looking building with that's likely to have a deep cellar or two.
I vote we run. That star is probably going to impact above where the was.
Yeah.
So I say we run. Run.
Yeah. So I'll point in the direction of the mountains or whatever, and so that's probably the best place up there. And what I don't remember from my history, Martin, when we had emergencies and we had to get out of the forge, where we went at all.
There was never an emergency that you had to evacuate the forge.
You might seal up the forge, but
yeah.
How far away are we talking with the mountains?
The mountains are within 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's go that way. And
is that 10 minutes at Sparky speed or
10 minutes at Sparky speed?
Cool. All right.
So about 2 or 3 minutes at Willy speed.
Sparky, that gas stuff.
Yeah.
What's it used for?
Good memory, Martin.
It is the most flammable fuel discovered by the dwarves that fuel the forges of every other dwarven citadel in the world.
Presumably you're not wasting breath trying to talk at the moment, especially about some random topic.
It is the most volatile gas ever discovered.
Let's just say it makes him go really, really good. Really, really good. Let's get going. And then, yeah.
And it's also the major income for this city. The entire city grew around that structure.
Sparky,
Yeah.
does that gas residue, is it ever used as poison?
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
What's it worth?
Oh, well, let's just say every dwarven stronghold in the world uses it in some way.
No, the residue. What's it worth as a poison?
Oh, I'm not a poisonous rogue, so I wouldn't know as much, but...
Are you really trying to have this conversation while running desperately for the hills?
Well, he's got plenty of breath.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but you're expecting Sparky to talk?
Yeah, why not?
Bit poisonous. Dad never told me how much he got for it when he sold it, but it seemed to be worth...
Shut up and run!
Let's get up the hill first.
Shut up and run!
Okay. Go, Peter.
I'm going to go back, because we've only been running for a short period. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to collect up some of the residue into... I don't have a vial, because I don't have any that sort of stuff. But I'm assuming there's a cup, or there's something that might hold...
Plenty of space in your tummy.
Residue.
Yes, you can scrape it into some wraps of some sort.
No worries. I don't need a lot. I'm just, if there's a wall that I noticed when I was there, I'll scrape it into it, and then collect it up, and then catch up with the rest of the group relatively quickly, I imagine.
You do remember passing here previously and realizing that the walls were a lot cleaner when you were actually living in Riddleport.
Okay, so I didn't notice any residue.
Well, you found residue. That's the thing. There's lots of residue. Normally
they're kept clean, or it dissipates fast enough that they don't get built up.
Okay.
The dwarves keep their area as safe as possible, except for when they need to close it up.
Yeah, fair enough. So I'll get an amount. I'll probably spend, I don't know, maybe a minute just scraping stuff into the container, and then I'll run off and catch up with the rest of the group.
Okay, so as you're doing so, you do feel the air temperature around you start to increase. As you feel it's like gravity also increases as your ears pop for a little bit.
Oh, that's bad.
So I will give Cordar and Sparky a fortitude saving throw.
16 plus 27.
Okay. Not too bad. 21.
21.
And I guess having seen Willie run back or run away, Cordar will probably go for trying to pick Sparky up to run a little bit faster, since he can go at 25 rather than Sparky's 20. So, thinking that yes.
Yeah, that's
wondering what Willie's doing, that it's going the other direction, but...
Okay, so Willie gets to make his saving throw, which is a little bit harder.
Yeah, okay. Fortitude, yeah?
Yep.
Well, at least it's not a bad saving throw. I fail miserably, I assume. 19.
Okay, so while you're standing there doing some scraping, your ears start to bleed, and all the poison around you seems to turn into a thick gas fog.
That's enough for me to go, yeah, I'm done, and run.
As you run, you can feel your skin burning from where the fog surrounded you.
Things happen. I keep running as best I can.
As you also feel the ground shaking all around you,
Yep.
everyone gets to make a reflex saving throw.
Again, not a bad save for me.
The problem for Sparky is she probably doesn't need a reflex over throw since I'm carrying her.
Well, if you're carrying Sparky, you can do the roll.
9 plus 20.
Okay, you manage to keep standing as the ground around you feel like you're going through an earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
While
Mine's
heading
a
into the mountains.
33 upgraded.
Okay,
Actually,
so
rolled a natural 20.
as as buildings start to collapse under the earthquake you're now living through, you manage to parkour it across the falling debris and keep above the sliding pieces of building and make it to the pathway just behind Corda.
Cool.
And you see, and Corda notices you trailing a green mist behind you.
Cordy's probably doing his own breath holding at the present time anyway for maintaining breath for running.
Guys, keep going. Don't think we're
Yeah.
I mean,
Keep running.
yeah, it's more likely Sparky's actually noticed too because he's probably dangling over the back of it, upside down over Cordy's shoulder, looking backwards.
Okay, if I'm carried like that, then I'll say, miss behind you, come on, Lou.
Run.
Okay, so who looks up?
Well,
I may as well. I mean, I don't have to run particularly quickly to keep up with Corda, so I'll take the time to look at what's going on.
You're not looking behind when Sparky said there's a green mist coming behind you?
No.
Okay, so that means both Sparky and our good monk Willie get to make wisdom saving throws, unlike Corda, who's not looking up.
Too busy running.
oh, hang on. So I'm hanging up, my head down towards his bum, looking backwards. Would I still be able to see that?
No, that's just it. You're basically, I've basically got your legs with your knees bent over my shoulder, so you're basically back to me. So yeah, so you can easily look up.
Okay, 29, Martin. I will.
Yep.
13, 24.
Okay, so both of you see something quite horrific. This sky above you is on fire.
Let's go, guys. Quick.
Run faster.
And you feel the heat wave hit you while knocking you to the ground.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And then there's just black smoke and everything goes dark.
So, certainly, if Corda gets knocked to the ground, the intent will be to be getting up as quickly as can. Presumably, Sparky can also be getting up herself at that point. But
Yeah, we continue to run as best we can.
Yeah, keep running.
Corda can't see that well at the moment. It's just everything's full of black smoke.
Well, on the idea that what he ahead of him was apparently a pathway. I don't know how thick the trees or forest or countryside was going to be, but he'll keep running.
It was a mountain pass.
That's right. But the idea being that I presume he was running up a hill, so he'll keep going for running up a hill. If it's upwards, that's the way he's going to try and go.
Okay, so not long after you start going, you start to tumble down the other side of it.
Okay.
Because it was a small pass.
Yep.
And as you're there, you hear a extremely loud bang.
Mm-hmm.
And you thought you were thrown to the ground previously. Now each of you get to make an acrobatics roll.
Yay. Acrobatics. Oh.
Total of 17 for me.
And some of you should be good at it. Even Sparky has to make one because Corda can no longer hang on.
Well, okay, we've been separated during the fall last time, and because Sparky was probably able to get up faster. He might not be able to run faster, but he'll probably able to get up faster.
all this distraction and worrying about my parents, I only got a 16 with a 2 on the dice. So,
Yeah, 17 on the dice, so 28.
28. What did Cordar get?
17.
Okay, so both Sparky and Cordar find themselves flung into some the side of the ravine as you see Willie sort of tumble and manage to keep his feet as the entire ground shifted underneath you. It's a huge earthquake.
Well,
Doesn't sound like one, but it's a huge earthquake.
Okay, if Cordite, in the case of Cordite, has been thrown effectively through the air potentially or along the ground or whatever and come up against something moderately solid, i.e. the side of a ravine or something, he'll probably work on the idea, well, this is about the safest we're going to get anyway, so he'll be basically trying to maintain as much cover in the location wherever he's fallen at this stage. So,
And
because let's face it, if the bang happened, that means the star's probably fallen, so it's probably not going to necessarily get worse, except for some sort of rolling effect coming over the hill. But
and you know the staff house south of the city.
South of the city.
There was a big flash that direction, which is out in the water.
Okay, and we were running effectively to the north of the city, I'm assuming.
To the
North, did you say?
it was more to the east of the city where the mountains were, because that's where the line goes up.
Okay, but yeah, so because Riddleport's effectively on a bay where the stuff is to the south. Yeah, the water's to the south of the river.
See that little line through?
Yeah,
that's where you're in.
And that's fine too. So yeah, so.
It's a place where people would escape to get out of the city quickly.
But so it doesn't seem that Riddleport itself got hit. Just way too close.
Way too close.
Does that mean we need to worry about a tidal wave coming over the hill?
You're expecting so. Considering it would make sense as to why everyone boarded everything up and they closed up the foundry. You wouldn't want water getting into that place.
Yep. Until someone opened the door. In which case, if the ground has stopped shaking momentarily, and Cordar's thinking, hang on, tsunami might be on the way, it's time to get up and keep trying to get uphill further. Have you got any idea of direction, or?
At this point, Sparky remembers how that the dwarves would consider water getting into their refinery probably the worst possible thing to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I reckon a star falling on it might have counted too.
That will count too.
Admittedly, that probably wasn't actually in their estimation of a particular event compared to water getting in.
Yeah. Well, Sparky's probably aware what's the situation now. Sparky's not happy about anything right now.
And you'd think that you have a short amount of time to fix the problem.
So this is the water coming into the forge area, is that correct?
If the tsunami comes up from the into Riddleport, presumably it'll reach the forge.
And the safety doors have been disabled.
Yeah, okay. Wide open.
If you go back there, there's a good chance you're dead.
If he does not, there's a good chance that his entire family's life and everything that they've built will be gone. Plus, any connections you have in Riddleport may also go. You may also not survive running from the explosion.
So the explosion happened. That possibly could have killed me anyway. So I'm not sure if the water would definitely cause problems.
Certainly Corda. Is there any light to see by at the moment in that sense then?
There's falling black snow.
Yeah, but so like with Corda being pure human now, can he see effectively?
He can still see in the dim light now.
Okay.
He thinks he's got enough of his elf back to be able to see.
Okay. In which case, let's say, well, even if he couldn't see, it was still a case of finding the uphill direction and be heading in that direction. And okay, so we'll mention the others. Hey, keep moving up. There's a tsunami coming.
I look at Sparky and go, what are we doing?
We've got us to keep alive. I said, I want to go back, but I don't think I'll make it if I go back. And
Well, Sparky also doesn't think Sparky will make it if Sparky doesn't go back, because he's still within the blast radius of the forge.
yeah, I'm just going to run. Yeah, keep running.
So Cordar's carrying Sparky again?
So let's make that a roll for Sparky. So Sparky's willing to commit suicide by running.
So give me. So no matter how we run, we're still going to get hit by the blast.
I told you that that no matter how far you run,
You're expecting that you're within the blast radius when the water hits the forge.
mm-hmm.
Well,
you
if
think the
that's
city
case,
has
I'm
been
definitely going
evacuated
back.
for that?
Yeah. Okay, I didn't.
It was stated multiple times.
But okay, it's also the sort of thing that obviously it's not easy calculations that Sparky's going through, trying to go ahead at like that moment in time, thinking there's a lot going on. So it's understandable if she doesn't necessarily fully make the connection. So, but
Yeah, no,
certainly she's the only one
wouldn't.
that can. As far as Cordar is concerned, it's the highest ground we can reach before the water arrives is the only concern he's thinking of. So.
Okay. I just told Willie, I've got to close those doors, so if I don't make it out, then I'll just keep you guys alive as much as I can. So I'm running back to see if I can lock those doors quickly.
You may need help.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
I might need a lift there, man. I'll be
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
with that.
Porter keeps climbing.
Well,
Characters,
it'll probably take him a little while to realise the others haven't followed, but
my
particularly
character's
since he's not
reasonably strong.
it's still dim light, but it's a bit hard to see exactly through this black snow. But,
You are feeling that the black snow is feels hot to the skin.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
White snow is cold, black snow is hot. Obvious.
And then you're noticing that some of the snow is actually glowing.
Goody.
Is actually what?
Glowing.
It's the reason there's dim light available.
So I'm reasonably strong, so I'll see how I go carrying Sparky on my back, and we'll run off.
Okay, so you
Back
pick,
down,
you pick Sparky up and you take off. You realise you're actually moving faster than you normally do.
Okay, that's... Is there a reason for it? Like, as in, I'm running down hills, that's got to help a bit.
It does.
But,
Paranoia sets in.
yeah, pretty much.
No wonder you're running faster.
Okay, so as you're running through the city, you're being used to the sounds of the earthquake being a horrendous noise passing through as the ground shifting. It suddenly stops.
As we're running, I say to Sparky, we've really fucked up. This is not good.
No, look, I know, but if we don't close those doors in the forge, no matter where we've gone, we'll be fucked up.
No, like as in our actions fucked us up.
Oh yeah, I agree. I didn't think it was that close that start.
Me either.
No. Okay. Anyway, nice knowing you, William. Let's try to see if we can save our lives.
Yeah, let's do that. We keep running. My character's got an 18 con, so that's going to help with the whole fatigue thing.
Is he still trailing green smoke?
Yes.
And we
he's
run off down the hill and go to
carrying
the forge,
Sparky.
assuming we make it.
So Sparky's currently in the green smoke.
Okay, so as you're running, you're feeling a southerly breeze passing through the city as all the you see the stacks from the chimney above pulling south. Previously, when you were left the city, they were going straight up.
And they're going in what direction?
They're heading south.
The smokestacks are now moving south. Technically, it's a northerly wind officially because it goes the direction the wind comes from. But yeah, it makes much more sense to think of it as southerly.
This just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Which you'd think of if all the oxygen was
Absolutely.
and the air rushes in that direction.
You had you're getting the effect of the firestorm creation. So the vacuum.
We're just going to have to turn that off because Ariadne keeps sending me stuff, not realising it keeps on pinging.
Well, okay. It took Cordar four rounds to realise that the others weren't following. So he's gone up the hill four sets of type pieces. Suddenly realises the others aren't with him. Says, what the fuck? And
that's when he sees the wind shift.
Okay.
And there's a bright light to the south.
Yeah.
Well, I yeah.
So much so you can actually see a cloud rising up from the south.
There's no reason whatsoever that they would have gone back towards the city.
They must have found a cave.
Obviously, yeah. Willie's faster. He obviously grabbed Sparky and they took it somewhere. So, Cordar's probably going to take at least a couple of rounds, effectively standing at the point he is, thinking, okay, well, I'm either high enough or I'm not. I want to go watch the show and see if I can spot Willie and or.
You get this brilliant view of a mushroom-like cloud rising into the distance.
Yep.
I'm assuming, my character's assuming that rock landed on the city that we were told about under the water. That's just my assumption.
Okay, that's not something Cordar knows anything about, so...
Okay, so yes, as you rush, it doesn't take you long to reach the forge and the open door.
Okay.
In Cordar's case, I'm actually picturing it a bit like in the scene in Chernobyl where all the townsfolk down on the bridge watch he's basically a big drop off him right now.
Yep, that's exactly what you're seeing.
and the result too in that effect.
Okay. So gotta lock this door quickly. I try to lock the door. So.
As you get in, give me a
just quickly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sparky.
Yeah.
Can we lock ourselves in?
If we can, just whatever the gas is in here with us.
Yeah, but they say Sparky's apparently immune because she's been dealing with the gas while being carried by Willie all the way down.
Yeah, we're fucked no matter what we do. Either we'll die.
If you want to stay inside, then we'll save us from whatever's going to happen next. So,
well, at least, particularly if you go inside, you've had the thing at least open. There's been a vacuum that might have sucked a lot of the upper layers of the poison out.
Yeah.
And so you might have time to get to the mask, or presumably suits
through the traps. It's the only way we're going to survive.
Yeah. Okay.
Just roll those dice.
Yeah, we've got to quickly move inside, just try to avoid the traps and just try to lock the door as quick as possible. So.
Okay, so you step inside, you see that there are handles to close the emergency doors on the inside.
Okay.
We close it.
And you get to make an athletics roll.
Athletics.
Come on. Come to daddy.
13 plus 9, 22.
And I've got 13 on my side.
Okay, so Sparky's struggling, and then Willie just yanks it down.
Help, Willie, help.
And then you see the in a blink of an eye, the door slam shut. Luckily, none of you are in between because it is door of an emergency door.
Yeah.
And then on the inside of the door, you see a bit of a chemical glow that's backlighting about 6 masks.
Okay, I'll Or,
The mask were
okay.
on the back of the emergency door for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No one ever knows
I'll
where
put a
they are.
mask, I'll put a mask on. And
Yep.
let's find a place where we can brace.
I say we don't move from here because if we move further in, there's traps.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's find a place where it's like it's. Okay, is it completely sealed room, no windows? Is that right, Martin?
You're in a corridor with multiple doors along it, and the door that's shut is about 15 feet in width. It's
Yeah, let's move in.
It's designed to withstand just about any conditions that could hit the region, unless of course it's blown from within.
I'd like another door between us and whatever's going to happen outside. But if you can find the traps and disable them, that'd be great.
Sparky remembers that while you're wearing the mask, the traps generally won't go off on you because they're keyed to the natives.
Okay, as long as you got the mask on, you're okay, man. Let's check around the room. Check the first room we see. I'll go left if that makes sense, man.
You end up having to walk through 3 or 4 different sets of doors before you get to any side doors, because their big corridor in is basically multi-redundancy. It's dwarven construction after all.
As we move through the first door that's open, I assume.
No. All doors have to be opened manually and shut.
Okay, so they're closed at the moment. Okay, so we'll go to the door, open it, go through, close it, and now once there's 2 doors between us and whatever's going on outside, I feel so much better.
Despite the fact the first door was several feet of solid stone, and the second door is a piece of wood.
Hey, whatever it takes. I'm happy to accept whatever comes.
Well, each of the doors is quite thick. You're not used to this level of security except on a vault.
Yeah, good dwarves. Good stonework, yeah.
And I follow Sparky.
Okay, Sparky's going to check one of the rooms on the side. I've once spoken through a few doors.
Okay, you find yourself in one of the storage rooms.
Okay, this will have to do for the time being. Try to find a space where nothing's going to fall too much on you, if you can.
Yep.
And yeah, this will make sure Cordo doesn't have to get in too much trouble.
And while you're sitting there, you sort of see everything on the shelves start to vibrate slightly.
Yeah.
Hey mate, really, you're a nice bloke actually. All the things people say wrong, you're a good bloke. But,
Yeah, don't tell anyone. I've got a reputation to...
we don't speak about this ever again. That's all we're talking about now. Okay, done.
What happened to the Dwarven Mine stays in the Dwarven Mine.
So while you have this moment in the darkness together, we move over to Corda, watching the brilliant plume of smoke rising in the distance.
So Cordax basically, you'll probably have at least a few rounds. A, looking around for, see if you can spot the others. B, struck in wonder at the what's the visibility to the south, and then possibly eventually realise, hey, even with the endure elements, this black snow is pretty hot.
And then as you're watching, you actually see the entire bay start to drain away.
Oh, God.
And it drains out past the arch, which is quite a few, which means it goes out quite a few feet.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at probably at least 1,000 feet out.
Yep.
Run, Corda, run, mate! Go for high ground!
It's about as high as you can get.
That guy's already pretty high. But yes, and again, whether or not he understands enough about the way that, I suppose he grew up a coastal town, so he might understand the sucking of the tsunami, the sucking of the water before the tsunami arrives.
He does think for a brief instant the safest place is probably on top of the arch, depending on how high the water gets. But getting to the arch before the water gets here, not going to happen.
It could be a challenge. Okay, what he's really thinking of at the moment is the idea of, hang on, open the pouch, jump inside and close the pouch. But then I'm not entirely certain how well the pouch will survive, and that might be bad too.
If it rolls itself up, it's like,
Yes, I'm not certain I can open it from the inside.
That's why it's a prison for some people.
But no, so basically it's the sort of thing you hang on. The snow's pretty hot and thing. He will look around to see if there's actually any sort of cover or things like that. Even effectively standing beside a tree, like to get some cover.
You're on top of a mountain range that is bereft of trees. You can see a swamp off to the side that has been completely drained.
Okay. Well, I guess then shield above head to try and keep some of the snow off. And might as well enjoy the view.
You can hear if you close on the shield. As you see that the glow in the distance is blocked off by a wall of blackness.
Okay, great. Marvellous. Here comes the water.
We can understand now why all the ships were tethered as they were.
Yep.
They'll either survive the water coming in or...
Well, they're probably being somewhat jostled about anyway by the fact that all the water's disappeared. Now the water gets replaced, coming in from above them rather than underneath them. So.
Yeah, I had a feeling that boats won't survive.
I suspect that Riddleport might be slightly affected by this event.
Slightly affected.
There might be a mild disruption in the economy.
Yeah. I think everything with the mine and the arch are going to disappear.
Well, momentarily at least, depending on how long they disappear for, is the thing. So. But yes, I'm not certain they'll have much of a fleet left.
They had quite a few stone structures, and you think that the fleet that tied themselves up wasn't the full fleet.
No, it's
just those who didn't think they could outrun it.
Well, that's just it's the ones who were stuck here beforehand and couldn't leave. So, yeah. But yeah.
So, while in the storeroom, I've got my shield. I've got my shield in the direction of the door, because that's where I think it's going to come through, and just waiting for a bit of silence and no shaking and all that kind of stuff. So.
Oh shit! Caught up.
He caught us.
Is that Willie trying to talk to Corda, or is that?
No, it's a question for you, for Mum.
Okay, yep.
The ship that we came in on.
Didn't have much time to leave. Didn't have much time to leave.
It already started leaving.
Right.
It's out. It's gone.
Well, that's it. Like it had started leaving, but yes, whether it got far enough seems unlikely.
Most likely it has
Somebody's
been
got to
grounded.
run those decks afterwards then, if there's any left. So, scrub the decks, but I don't think there's any deck left.
Depends on how good a sailor they were.
That's right. But was there something particular about the ship you were concerned on, Peter?
No, just
Are
you're looking out over the city and you're thinking,
oh right,
oh shit, the people who brought us here, they're not still in what used to be the bay, are they?
Well, they were leaving. It could be even before we got to shore.
They had about half an hour's travel.
But yeah, exactly how far they would have got. But yes, if Cordar thinks of it, it'll be a case of, well, I'll pray for them.
Yeah, good call.
But let's face it, it's not like Cordar's feeling entirely safe at the moment. So
yeah, true.
He just worked out the idea of, well, at least I'll die with a good view if I die. Yeah, as the water comes through, I'll pull out the pink umbrella like the coyote.
Oh, you've got a shield, you'll be fine.
That's right.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the shield we use at the moment to protect myself from the burning snow.
So I'm going to set my shield to bludgeoning damage base because I can do that once a day.
So you think that you would have done that in the morning? You can't change it otherwise.
Oh, okay. Do I need to do it in the morning, do I?
Yeah, it's after you've rested.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
You set it as a but you can say you set it for bludgeoning, that's fine.
And basically the ship should be about 1 to 2 miles out of the harbour by the time the thing hit.
Yeah, kind of.
And hey, for a little bit of time at least, it's got a lovely southerly breeze or northerly breeze to go with.
Yeah.
And if it gets over deep enough water, it's not as badly affected.
Absolutely. So, yeah, okay. It's not entirely forlorn hope, but yes.
So while we're stuck in the storage room, so how'd you meet your wife? I asked.
God, I was thinking, yeah, damn it, bloody Potter. Potter.
It was
He'd have been here. Would have been a week ago. We had plenty of time to prepare.
And go, Willie.
It was an agreement between, an arranged marriage. I tried to get out of it, and her brother made it clear that if I tried to do so, he would do horrible things to me. I tried to get out of it, but was unsuccessful.
Well, she seemed nice otherwise, a bit forceful, but nice.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't say after having lived with her or been married to her for a while that it was a bad thing. Had I have known it while her brother was threatening me, I probably would have gone through with it regardless.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, hey, I've met some interesting characters recently, so I can feel that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The one thing I've noticed, that stupid horse or pony of mine hasn't come back for a while, so I don't know what that is.
You don't remember about the pony, so you still can't comment on it.
Okay, so I feel a bit clear-headed at the moment. I don't know why, but something feels like something's been lifted off my shoulders since that house.
It must be all the fresh, clean air you're breathing at the moment.
Yeah. No, I was wondering, man. That's all, because.
And in the darkness together, you both hear one word. Lamester.
I say fuck out loud when I hear it.
Well, but do you both hear that in your mind, or do you hear it in your ears?
In your ears.
So there's someone else inside there with you.
I look around. What?
And then the whole ground around you starts to rumble. What you felt as a slight vibration is now a rumble unlike anything you felt before.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun, Sparky. If we survive, great. If we don't, I'll see you in the next life.
Well, me too. I don't know where I'm going to be, but yeah, I'll try to make it somewhere here.
And Cordar's watching the wall get closer and closer. You can actually start to feel the mountains rumble.
Mm-hmm. So, basically try and dig himself in a bit to give a bit of a dick, but not much you can really do.
As you're watching, the wall starts to lower.
Okay.
And you can start...
Either that or I'm getting higher.
As it looks as if you can see the mushroom cloud in the distance getting larger and higher.
Yes.
You can see it's lit from within.
Mm-hmm. But so it's more the idea that I can see more of the mushroom cloud. So whether that's getting higher or the wall getting lower, it's a bit hard to be certain. But I'm happy to go with it must be the wall getting, it must be the water starting to reduce. That's good, because the other options worse in both ways. Because it means the water's still too high and the mushroom cloud getting bigger.
As not long after, you see the wall of water come through the arch. Not higher than the arch, but probably about a metre or two above where the surface of the water was.
Okay.
Not as high as you'd feared, but luckily where you are is probably the safest part from what you can think of with your basic survival.
Yep.
Because there's a valley between you and the other mountain range,
Like, so I would have gone down again type stuff.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
it would have to go down and divert along the
that's right.
path.
So the idea being the fact that, yes, I would have been either, if I had gone any further, then either it would have gone over the mountain ridge and I'd be down in the valley, or at least this way I could be watching for it and try and secure myself as it comes up the thing, but hopefully it'll rise relatively slowly up the hill. If it's going to get that high.
You're on one of the highest peaks, watching it come through.
Okay, yeah.
And you see it go through half of the city.
It's always nice to have a view of the end of the world.
And then wash back. Most of the city itself has been turned into a jumble near the docks.
Mm-hmm.
The water didn't reach all the way to the back. Didn't come up the side of the mountain you were on. It did splash over the one at the closest to the ocean. It did go right up the pathway beside the other side of the mountain range that you can see. It's like you're on an island in the water.
Okay.
And there's...
I hope Willie and Clarky got to some places with at least as good a view.
And behind you there is a rumble that is a little terrifying as it... as
a little terrifying, as opposed to the big terrifying that already occurred.
Well, it's one of those terror to the soul, not terror to the life, as you hear an unearthly scream start up behind you.
Uh-huh.
You were told the burial ground was on the northern end of the city, and the waters rushed right into it.
Right.
And the burial grounds are basically a big pit dug into the ground that they mined for the quarry to build the city.
Mm-hmm.
So what was left of the quarry was turned into a burial ground.
Well, I had to fill it back in somehow. Might as well use some fill.
Well, there were people of importance, because if you weren't important, you helped fed the people.
Mm-hmm.
Waste not, want not is one of their beliefs. And with that, you do see that the stacks are still putting smoke out.
So yeah, but it didn't necessarily look like the water actually went above the through the parts of the city where it got flooded. It probably still wasn't like if there were a two-story building, the second story was probably unflooded. Not necessarily safe, but not flooded. Yeah.
And it didn't get high enough to submerge the stacks.
Yeah. So
you can easily see the Colosseum, you can see the stacks, you can see the gold goblin that the Pathfinders have a stake in.
Uh-huh. Well,
and you also see the runes on the rune gate slowly fade and disappear.
Okay. Did we notice exactly how bright they were when we were coming in compared to the brightness of the star?
Well, they had 7 runes lit up.
Right. But I guess, yeah, like coming in on the ship, were they visible as to what runes they were, or like, I mean, how big are we talking these runes are? Because obviously the arch is like a mile or more in diameter, is it not? Yes. So I'm guessing that they're quite some distance away from the ship when the ship was coming in, but whether the runes are then 17 feet tall.
The runes themselves would probably be about a metre to 2 metres.
So they're not ones that we could have recognised from the ship.
You could easily see them.
See them glowing, but not necessarily be able to outline like a recognition, because obviously Cordar has a fairly good understanding of what the rune for Wrath is now, having seen multiple times.
If he had a spyglass, he could have.
Yeah, but no, it's not. We're going down that pathway, so well, certainly for Cordar, we case of, well, if we've if he's effectively on an island now, but it should be a fairly short-lived island. If it's
the water had receded within a few minutes of coming out.
The Cordar will Well, when he had the chance to look around, whilst he assumed that the others couldn't have gone back into town, they must have found somewhere else to go, but he couldn't obviously see any other location where they could have gone. Could he?
None of the same went to the Gold Goblin.
Yeah, but okay, that's back in town in the sense that like you're safe. So we're supposed to be running away from town. So
you can sort of see embers still falling from the sky.
Quarter I'll probably give it a good half hour or something like that at least, just to try and look around for any movement of any of the others that's on the idea that he expects they would still be somewhere on the mountainside.
And while you're waiting, you actually watch the mushrooms from in the distance slowly expand over the stars above you.
Okay.
Is
it blotting out the stars and such?
Yes, blotting out the stars.
If I hear no more noise outside, it seems like it's silent for a little bit, like 10 minutes. I might get up and head back out the door and just say, look, you don't mind if I quickly just check my family's here or not?
Nah, I'll go with you.
Okay. I'll head down the corridor with the direction of where my family would usually stay. So.
Looks like we survived. Good job.
Yeah. Hope Cordo's okay, but I trust Cordo's doesn't seem to get hurt by a lot of things, so you should be fine.
It's like a cockroach. No?
Yeah.
Well, certainly, unlike almost everybody else in the party, he hasn't died.
That's what I mean.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. There we go. Valid statement. The way the rest of the party goes up and down, up and down, up and down.
I explained to Willie when we walk, I said that I promised to his grandmother I'll make sure he didn't die. So if he dies in trouble, if he lives, he's in trouble, so it doesn't really matter at the moment. So anyway, so I head in the direction where my parents lodging would be, and if I get to the door, I'll just knock on the door.
Okay, you get to the area where you expect your parents to be, and you find that they have a pressure seal over the entire area.
Can I knock on the door? And Mom, Dad?
You rap on the door, and you don't even hear it echo. It's solid enough that your strike isn't seem to be doing anything.
It's obviously not a door, it's obviously a wall.
And I go, and I yell out to my brothers, Cram, Philip, anyone hear me?
You're looking around that there are signs that they have stopped production, and that all the transportation vehicles that they had here that run off their gas have all been taken. They would normally have a fleet of dwarven vehicles that would go to a ship and load the dwarven gas onto it, so it wouldn't go anywhere else.
But it's okay. I'm sure that when you ask the question, can anyone hear me? The same voice you heard earlier says, I can.
Okay, so as you wait for the can you hear me to die out, with the last echo you hear,
and I as a player, I go, look at Jerry going, didn't have to encourage him. And then I go, okay.
I almost held back.
They didn't hold back, so don't worry about it. Okay? So I'm going, okay. Don't think they're here, and I think let's go back outside, pick up a mask for Cordo just in case, and then see if he's alive out there. Okay? So,
what's the chance there's still water out there?
How long should we wait?
I'd like to wait a day.
Traditionally, it's 40 days and 40 nights, isn't it?
So, okay. Well, if we wait a day, I'm going to have a search around the storage room and see what's around it. Or wait.
Are you suggesting we loot the place?
No, I'm suggesting we look. And if any food we can grab when we go outside, I'm sure they'll understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And I'll blame it on my brother Phil.
as you start to going through looking at the storage area, you find a box with your name on it.
Okay. My boxes of my old belongings that I might have here.
All your childhood toys.
Well, it does remind you of something you played with as a child.
What is it? Just throw it for a moment. Okay.
Well, yeah, the box itself is shut.
Like, you haven't actually opened the box yet, because you recognise the box.
Okay. If I recognise the box, is it sealed over or is it actually open? Or?
It's locked. You might actually have to pick a lock of your own device.
Now, if I know this particular box, would I have a quick release button somewhere that I might have put there?
You never created the lock.
But you might have practiced on the locks.
Okay, okay.
Depends on when you decided to become a thief.
Well, I was handy around the place. A prior account, thieves are really good. I was a nice thief, I didn't do any evil thief stuff, so I would try to open the lock.
Okay, give me a open lock roll.
Or use the key.
He lost it.
Well, if I knew what the key was, I would probably have it. But I don't think a clan dagger will fit in the lock, so I'm going to roll with a 18. So.
Okay, with your knowledge of the lock, you managed to click it open. And inside of that lock itself, you see a necklace.
You want to know the necklace?
Yes. The first thing that comes to your mind is... Well, no response, so I'll do it for you. Jeremy's done it. That works.
I'll cop this. I'll do this one.
What's that?
It's all fine. You're fine. Don't worry about a thing.
Jeremy just so aware of had the book open to the entire time.
I'll assume it was a necklace my older sister Steph gave me.
Okay, so it is the necklace your older sister gave you of Le Master.
Your older sister gave it to you. Okay.
And you both hear the clear bell ring of Le Master go through the complex.
That's right, the voice is getting more audible now that you've opened the box and let it out.
And with that ring, the scenes fade to black, and that's the end of the session. No pressure.
You know, I'm going to have nightmares about Lamasu with after purchased Pathfinder games. I just really... There's two characters going on.
Well, you're supposed to.
I know, but I wish it would just like, hey dude, I'm glad I met you. Like, somebody else would be fine.
Lamastu is supposed to be the stuff of nightmares, so
you
playing correctly.
You have had a lot of interaction with her, with this character.
And you keep calling upon her.
A bit more than I'd like to, but yes, considering my last character, but yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, I'll just do the end credits.
Okay, so we'll do end credits, and then we'll see what we do next.